you ever had a moment where you did something simple, maybe even by accident, and then suddenly noticed a woman looking at you differently? Like her eyes lingered a little longer. She smiled at you in a way that felt warmer. She tilted her head, tucked her hair behind her ear, and suddenly there was this energy. And you're sitting there thinking, wait, what just happened? That right there is what I want to talk about, because most guys think that to attract a woman, you've got to come in with a perfect line, a flashy smile or some kind of ultra-confident swagger like you're straight out of a movie. But real attraction, it's way more subtle, way more psychological, and sometimes completely accidental. I'm talking about these little moves, these moments that don't look like flirting, don't sound like flirting, but they feel like flirting. And when they happen, they hit deep. They bypass logic. They speak to something in her that's primal, emotional, almost magnetic. But here's the wild part. Most guys do these things without even knowing it. And when you become aware of them, when you start doing them intentionally but in a natural, effortless way, that's when the game changes. That's when she leans in, when she laughs harder at your jokes, when she texts you first and finds reasons to be around you. Not because you're trying too hard, but because you're not trying. Because these moves feel real. So tonight, I want to take you into that world. I want to talk to you about these accidental moments that drive women absolutely wild. Moments that most men overlook, misunderstand, or brush off as nothing. But they're not nothing. They're the secret sauce. Let's rewind for a second. There's this guy I know, let's call him Jake. Jake's not a player. He's not flashy. Honestly, he's kind of the quiet type. Dresses well, takes care of himself, but he's not the loudest guy in the room. Anyway, we're at this get-together one night. Nothing crazy, just a few people hanging out, and Jake's sitting across from this girl. They're talking, laughing a little, nothing over the top. But then, this tiny moment happens. She asks him a question, and before answering, he just pauses, looks at her, smiles, then says something like, "That's actually a great question. I'm not sure anyone's ever asked me that before." That pause, that presence, changed the whole vibe. I watched her posture shift, her eyes locked in. She started leaning forward, playing with her bracelet, touching her neck. And Jake, he didn't even realize what he had just done. He was just being thoughtful, being there. But to her, that moment was electric. It's those moments I want to break down with you. Not the cheesy pickup lines, not the forced confidence, but the things you do that make her feel something real, safe, seen, and undeniably drawn to you. Let me take you inside a woman's mind for a second. Attraction for women isn't just about looks or money or being loud and dominant. Sure, confidence matters, but not the kind you show off. It's the invisible confidence, the kind that's quiet but powerful. It's when you're in control of your energy, not chasing, not performing. You're just there, grounded, aware, and completely at ease in your skin. Women feel that. They feel it in your eye contact, in your body language, in the way you speak and listen. And when you're in that space, when your energy is calm but focused, every little move you make becomes more attractive, even the accidental ones. Now let me tell you about this guy I met during a seminar. He had this habit, totally unintentional, of brushing his hair back when he was deep in thought. Like he'd pause, kind of look off to the side, then run his hand through his hair and say, "That's interesting." And I swear, every time he did it, the women in the room would light up. Why? Because it looked like confidence. It looked like vulnerability and control in one. It was subtle. It was him, and that made it powerful. See, the human brain is wired for patterns and associations. And when a woman sees you doing something that feels real, especially something that's paired with emotion, curiosity, or calmness, her mind starts connecting dots. She starts feeling things she can't explain. She starts wondering about you, and that's where the magic happens. It's not about manipulation. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about showing her your natural presence and understanding how that presence speaks louder than words. Now I know what you might be thinking. Okay, so what am I supposed to do? Just sit there, hope I accidentally do something charming? Not quite. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to become aware of your energy. Start noticing how you hold yourself when you're calm, when you're not trying to impress anyone. Start noticing how women respond when you're just being you, no agenda, no pressure. Do you smile a certain way when you're relaxed? Do you lean in when you're genuinely curious about someone? Do you touch your face, scratch your jaw, adjust your sleeves? These tiny habits, when they come from a place of authenticity, become incredibly attractive because they feel real. And in today's world, where so many interactions are filtered, rehearsed, and artificial, realness is rare. That's why it stands out. There's something else, too. You ever notice how a woman reacts when a guy gives her his full attention? Not the kind that's intense or creepy, but the kind that's relaxed and focused. Like when he listens with his eyes, not just his ears. That kind of attention is intoxicating, and guess what? You don't have to say a word. You don't need some epic story or line. You just be there, present, grounded. You take your time. Before you speak, you hold her gaze just a second longer than usual. You smile, not because you're trying to win her over, but because she made you feel something. That's not just flirting, that's impact. Now I want to give you a challenge. Next time you're around a woman, whether it's someone new, someone you're interested in, or even just a friend, watch how she responds when you slow down, when you speak with intention, when you lean into the moment instead of rushing past it. Watch her eyes, watch her body language, watch how she mirrors your energy, because when a man is present, calm, and just slightly mysterious, women notice, they remember, they feel it, and it drives them wild, not because you said something clever, but because you didn't need to. Let me leave you with this. Real attraction isn't about trying harder. It's about being more of who you already are. More grounded, more aware, more connected, less noise, less pressure, less performance. And when you start owning your space, trusting your natural instincts and allowing those accidental moments to happen, they won't feel accidental anymore. They'll feel like magic. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the smallest moves, the quietest moments, say the most.